Welcome to The Longlist, a podcast that celebrates movies and other pop culture through the storied art of rankings. No wrong answers, no bad opinions, and hot takes encouraged. I'm Josh Muller. As always, I'm joined by my brother Jack Muller, as well as a very special guest. Not her first time on the podcast, but the first time that she's with both me and Jack together as a third guest. My lovely wife, Rebecca.
Hello.
And
Hi, Becky.
Excited to be here.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
And this episode is all about Wes Anderson. Rebecca, how are you? Why don't
Sorry.
you shut up until the introduction?
I'm sorry. Do you want to re-record?
No.
All right,
No,
geez.
it gives a good,
Okay.
peek
Anyway.
behind the curtain.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be here with both of you. This
Yeah,
feels
this is fun.
like us just like hanging out. Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what we do when we hang out, is kind of talk about movies usually.
yeah.
We together have been watching movies for 20
years?
Yes. Very long time.
Yeah.
The old school movie drafts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Those were good times.
Yeah. But, well, why don't you explain? You got to explain what that is
Well,
now.
I do believe that you explained that you do movie drafts in a previous episode, and I don't know if you...
Oh, did I? Okay, maybe.
No?
You
I
definitely did on a TikTok.
Hell yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
All right, so we're psychotic.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's still the same way you do it, but we used to do a movie draft where the three of us would all pick 10 movies, I want to say.
It would have to be divisible by 4.
Okay.
Because we would have to... I guess not.
4.
Yeah, because like that way you can do like a, round robin
pit things against each
NCAA
other.
style.
Yeah. Okay. So we did that. And then we would each, now I'm not remembering how we did it. We would each go around and knock one off. Or
Yeah.
We
Knock
each go
someone
around and
else's movie
knock
off.
someone else's movie off.
Last movie standing was
Last
the movie we're
standing
watching that
wins.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Becky and I also carried that into, I would say, unhealthy territory where we would, on our whiteboard, create a literal 64-team thing and then write movies on it.
Wow.
I would be at work and I would come home and Josh would have a whole whiteboard set up. Not only all 64 movies, but seated.
That's way different.
Yeah, I would have them
You
seated.
said we a lot.
It was a collective. She participated once the board was done. I was like the guy in Always Sunny with the
Right.
with the meme or whatever.
Pepe Sylvia.
I guess. Anyway, moving on to so people don't see all my weird intricacies. Do you guys watch anything interesting this week other than Wes Anderson movies, which was dominated by my watching habits this week?
I feel like I have to talk about that I didn't watch Titanic this week.
Oh, there it is.
Is it like, in
had-
order to be on the pod, you have to have just recently watched for the first time or...
Who had under 3 minutes and 30 seconds? You win a prize. You can get it at the front. And you're ticketed. Oh, man.
No Titanic.
We're
in the
not
book this
mentioning Titanic next week.
week. Don't tempt me. No, I was pretty heavy on the Wes side
Yeah.
of things this week, which was fun because I hadn't seen a lot of them in some time.
Yeah, it was fun going back and revisiting all these. I will say now that we're doing this podcast, I'm happy to watch something else in a different
Yes.
world than Wes
Right.
Anderson.
Yes.
I love him, but
Yeah.
I've
Something
reached my
not so
peak.
symmetrical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I dabbled a little bit this week. I did finish a movie that I started on a plane. I went out of town for work a couple weeks ago, and I started Best Exotic Marigold Hotel.
I saw that on a list recently.
Yeah,
know
it's
why.
like old British people going to stay at a hotel in India that's like not really a great operating hotel, but then they all like come together and make it great, and their relationships with each other and stuff, and they're like unlearning habits in their old age, and
Kind of sounds like a Wes Anderson movie.
kind of yeah, a little
The title
Darjeeling
certainly does.
esque. But it wasn't streaming anywhere. Like I watched it on the plane, and then it wasn't streaming anywhere, and I was like, you know what? I know I've seen this on the shelves at Rasputin. Let's go pick up the movie. And if we went and we had a little Blu-ray haul.
We were planning on getting.
It didn't look so little to me. I just saw the picture.
Yeah, we
ended up getting 27 movies.
Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we found a bunch in the Criterion section that were just like, how can I pass this up? You know?
Yeah, it's
It was-
such a great deal.
We have an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not, sometimes it's under control. That day it was not.
But that allowed me to finish that movie that I started on the plane. And then the other big thing that I finished this week was Zodiac.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yes.
He's been trying to get me to watch this movie for literally anywhere we go. He brings that movie with us as like
Weird.
as an option.
Just in case. You got to be ready.
Yeah. And he finally convinced me, and I watched Zodiac, and I thought it was really great.
It is really great.
You liked it?
I did like it.
Awesome.
Full
Yes.
disclosure, we did not watch the Berryessa scene.
That's the only scene we fast forwarded.
Got it. That would change things.
Right. That's what I told Josh. I was like, I'm giving it a 4-star ranking, letterbox ranking. But like, if I watched that scene, would I grade it differently? Maybe.
Probably not.
What year did that come out? 2007? We'll give it another 15 years. Then we'll get that scene done.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That
It's
works.
Just got to do it like a Band-Aid, you know?
It's a memorable scene.
Yeah, I know.
You'll be all right. Now that you've seen the rest of it, and you know the rest
Yeah,
of it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
too
Not
crazy.
too bad. Can I
Right.
handle one scene? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Josh?
I forgot. I did watch something. I watched Manhunter by Michael Mann, the prequel to
oh,
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah,
I really liked it. It
Actually,
was
I
very
haven't seen it.
stylized, very Michael Mann, and the performances were great. And I thought it was pretty cool because I love Silence of the Lambs. We've talked about it many times on this podcast. It's kind of hard to remove yourself. Like, that's a pop culture thing now. Like, people who haven't seen Silence of the Lambs know Fava Beans and Chianti. You know, they like know Hannibal Lecter. Oh God. and then but it was interesting to see a different take that happened before that. So it wasn't even an intentionally different performance of Hannibal Lecter. It was just a totally different take on the character played by Brian Cox. And it was really cool to see that. You know, it was an uninformed, totally separate performance.
Right.
It was very good.
Yeah.
And it was they were nothing alike. So it was really, I thought that was pretty cool. So I highly recommend. I couldn't find it on Blu-ray when we went to Rasputin. I will get it.
Is it Criterion? I think it's a Criterion of it.
I don't know. It might be. It should be. It's really good. All right, Wes Anderson. So we've done directors before. Did we do somebody other than David Fincher?
No.
Oh, we did Nancy Myers too.
Oh, yeah.
Those were kind of structured the same way. We're doing this one a little bit different. This was your idea. But as we're looking at this document, there's a better than strong chance, especially since we're spending so much time on movies that aren't Wes Anderson at the beginning, that this is going to turn into the long episode. This has happened before. Happened last time on the History Pod. In the History Pod, we just chopped it up and released it the next day because it was an unplanned 2-part episode. This one, we're not saying it's going to be 2 parts, but it's
Strong
a strong
likelihood.
chance.
Yeah, we got lists.
And so we have a halfway point built in. If this becomes a 2-part episode, we'll be releasing the next part next week. But we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of lists. And so Jack kind of had the idea of breaking it up into several sections that Wes Anderson is known for. We have story and theme, production design, character and cast, and script and dialogue. And so we'll have lists for each of those 4 themes. But I'll start here with a quote from our very beloved Monsieur Gustave. Quote, "You see, there are faint glimmers of civilization left in this barbaric slaughterhouse that was once known as humanity." And to me, well, that's not the whole quote, and it ends in with a funny little punchline. But to me, that sort of represents the, I don't know, thesis statement of Wes Anderson's quote unquote mission.
Yeah, he's got a lot of hope in some dark places,
Yeah.
and likes to leave you with that too. Doesn't end a lot of his things too on a bummer note.
Yeah, and the ones that do, I mean, I had this coming up later, but he really toes the line well between hilarity and,
very
deep,
serious.
profound sadness.
Yeah.
And his characters are all. We'll dive into this, but his characters are all pretty flawed. They all seem lost, and yet he's able to tell these stories about pretty beat up people in a very funny and bright and really distinct, almost happy way.
Yeah, I feel like it's his way of being able to tell these stories. I don't know if he could do it another way to really, like, for him personally.
Yeah.
Because all of his films are, like, you could tell just are insanely personal, puts a lot of himself in his life and the things that he feels into them. And I don't think he knows how to express himself other than deadpan, funny, awkward moments.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I actually saw an interview with him where he was. It had not specifically what we were talking about, but they were saying, after all these movies, he doesn't try to make quote unquote Wes Anderson movies. He just does it the way, kind of like what you were saying, the way he thinks the story should be told. And then he says, and yet whenever someone sees a trailer of mine, the only thing I hear back is, "Oh, I knew that was a Wes Anderson movie 5 minutes into the trailer. I didn't need to be told." He's
Right.
like, I guess I do that, but he doesn't try to do that. That's just the way he paints his paintbrush,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think there's reasons why both engraved in his stories of why he does the things he does. And also, like, I think there's a practical thing, because we're going to get into it later, but practical reason of keeping his movies cheap. And it seems
Yes.
like he uses the same production people, all the same people that, it's kind of like a pick up your things and move on to the next one. And what do you say? What am I looking for?
Copy paste.
Copy paste. Yeah.
Cut, print, paste.
Cut, print,
Cut,
paste.
print.
Something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
I do.
But, he packs up all his things, moves on to the next one, does it all again. And,
Yeah.
and
And
there's
also
reasons.
at this point, because he works with a lot of the same crew, a lot of the same cast, he has referenced many times that there's a shorthand where he doesn't necessarily have to tell people exactly what needs to be done all the
Right,
time. They
right.
just know how to do it because they've done it
done it
together so many
12
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love him or hate him, his movies have a similar aesthetic. They have a similar vibe. They occupy many of the same themes. I think this is a good point to say. He's like a true auteur who's created his own world somewhere between reality and fantasy.
right.
Jack, do you want to touch on what an auteur is and why he is a good representation of that?
Yeah, an auteur is somebody who, well, in the film world,
Yeah.
writes
Right.
and directs. You got to write it, you got to direct it, and you essentially have to have your own palette or your own distinct style.
Yeah. Visual style.
And his is like to the max. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I'll say this now. I don't think that there's another director who, like, you wouldn't be able to make a movie like them. Okay, how do I say this?
I wanted to say something similar, but I'll let you finish.
I don't think there's somebody else who you essentially can't make a Wes Anderson type movie or do like very similar things to what he does, or else somebody's going to be like,
You're
just
copying
doing
Wes.
Wes
copying
Anderson
Wes Anderson.
karaoke. you know?
Right.
Where other auteurs, someone like, I don't know, like Stanley Kubrick or Scorsese.
Sure.
A lot of people are influenced by them, and you can tell, and you're like, ooh, that's kind of Scorsese. But you're not like, wow, this person just stole Scorsese's vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you were to do that with Wes Anderson, of course, he's very influential. But I don't think you can just do a Wes Anderson thing and not
No,
get
I
called
agree.
out for it.
He's so unique in the world of directors and auteurs. I'm not saying he's the best or that he is the
Right.
most influential, but he's so far removed from what other people are doing, I think, that he's the easy target for someone to say, that's the auteur of this generation. When
Yeah.
he's probably not. There's, the other Anderson, Paul Thomas Anderson, you could say the same thing about Quentin Tarantino. All these guys kind of came up together, but his movies are so far, I guess removed isn't the right way to say it, but his movies are
Distinct
and unique
Yeah.
that he's the easy target. And a lot of people don't like it. We'll touch on that in a second, but a lot of people don't like it. Rebecca, what is it that draws you to Wes Anderson movies?
I know going into a Wes Anderson movie that it's going to be colorful and quirky, and lately hasn't always been the case, but it's going to be pretty funny. But also there's heart.
Yeah.
And I know, like you guys talked about, like I know it's not going to end on like a super bummer note, which I don't always, when I go into a movie, before we started recording, we were talking about just like watching like intense movies. I don't love watching intense movies. And I know that going into a Wes Anderson movie, it's not going to be too intense.
Right.
There will be something a little bit kind of upbeat about it, and I will definitely chuckle, and I'll probably feel something.
Yeah.
And the intense subject matter that is in his movies is done in a way that you're like, okay, I can process this.
Yes.
And
There's a warmth. There's a... Yeah.
Well, he will give you a gnarly scene and then give you a more lighthearted scene, or like at the end of a gnarly scene, hit you with a punchline or something like that. Just to like bring you back down to earth.
Definitely.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
And also not for everyone, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're still technically at the opening of this podcast, so let's do our first top 5.
Cool.
Top 5 openings. Who would like to... You can do full openings or opening credits or however you want to do it. Who would like to start?
I'll go.
Yep.
Take it away, Rebecca. Ladies first.
Okay. My number 5, I have Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's kind of just like a nice intro showing the book, the Roald Dahl book. And it's kind of just like, hey, I'm going to be telling you a story based on this.
That was my number 5 as well.
And the little poem about Boggins, Bunsen, I don't remember their names, but the little kind of ditty poem about introducing you to kind of, okay, here's what we're going to be dealing with. I really like. Life Aquatic, starting with the Jaguar Shark. Jaguar Shark?
Yeah.
Jaguar Shark. Little clip at the film festival is really fun. My number 3 is Phoenician Scheme.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And for Phoenician Scheme, it was like not just the first like plane, but all the way into him in the tub.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The overhead shot
100%.
of the nurses like moving through the room. I thought that was fantastic. And that opening in particular, like especially on the plane, it hooked me right away. It was kind of like, okay, here we go. And I was in, which was great.
And I love that there's like 3 more plane crashes.
Yes. My number 2 is the opening to Darjeeling, which is Bill Murray, like racing through the streets in the car and like getting through traffic and like trying to catch his train and misses his train.
And kind of, I also like how Adrian Brody's running right there next to him, trying to get on the same train, which is a little magical realism or something. I don't know what it is, but I think that's cool. Whatever it's trying to say, I like it.
Yeah. I think it's like, this is like the old way, out with the old, in with the new or something.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And I'm going to get on this train and the story's going to begin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Royal Tenenbaums.
Of course.
That's the number 1. The kids.
Yeah.
Of the kids and the beginning of the story.
There's like kind of like 2 or 3. It's like 2 and then it ends with Hey Jude.
Yeah.
Kind of, because you get like the intro and then you get the credits and all the intro of the cast of characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had this on your quotes for something, but you could really take it right up to say it because I don't have it written down.
I'm going to say it later.
Okay.
Save it.
Patience.
Where they all get in the house.
All right. Who's next?
Jack.
I'll go. I did credits.
Okay.
I did specifically credits. Good. Which I was kind of surprised that a couple of them like didn't like Life Aquatic doesn't have one, which I was a little surprised about.
Yeah.
And Rushmore's is just kind of regular. Anyways. Okay. Number 5, I did Isle of Dogs. Because that's like you You don't
Yeah.
get the cast and like who they're playing, but you get the cast.
Yeah.
And then all of the names are said also in Japanese next to them, and then
Yeah.
in English they're all in parentheses.
Yeah.
Number 4, I did Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you get it's just an introduction of cast
Thought
of
about it.
characters. Yeah. Number 3, I did Asteroid City
Okay.
with the train and the song. Right when it started, right off the gate, I was like, "Oh!" And that like super hooked me. And you're going fast, and you're on the train. And
Yeah.
you're just hitting the desert in old Wes Anderson style. Loved it. Number 2, I had the Phoenician Scheme.
Yep.
Getting eggs in the bathtub and champagne, or I think it's champagne.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody's moving around, and it's great. Number 1, Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah. So you guys mentioned all mine. The only one we didn't mention is Rushmore. I do like the Rushmore opening. It's he has that weird dream, which
Oh yeah,
I guess is the opening, but then he go into the speech from Bill Murray, and then he comes out and he talks to the principal or the dean or whatever. He's the worst student we have, or whatever he says, and then it jumps into the music of the creation. And then he shows him through. So I'm counting all that because that's when the credits start rolling, is where you see him do all his different clubs that he's a part of. I'm counting that because that's the credits, and I just think that's hilarious seeing him in
all the different clubs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
A million
That's
different clubs.
I have
such
more
a
on that
great
later.
intro to Wes Anderson, and being his first Wes Anderson-y movie.
Yeah.
And just the little worlds that he creates.
Yeah,
great.
it's really good. Okay, that was fun. I say we get this part out of the way now, and then we don't have to talk about it again. He's not for everybody. We've touched on it. His acting style that he generates, the aesthetic, the shot framing, the symmetry, camera work, all very unique. He's often cited as style over substance, relying on visual quirks rather than emotional depth, which I personally disagree with. Many say that his stories are predictable and formulaic. The color palette, the recurring cast members, the performances are often viewed as flat and unemotional.
Well,
I'm just saying.
no, I know.
I'm not sure I agree with all this, but this one is kind of true. His movies they're very white. He doesn't. Not a whole lot of people of color in his casts. There are some reoccurring people that show up. They're usually in bit parts.
Right.
But, that has to be acknowledged.
Token
at least.
diversity, it feels like.
Right. I think I don't know this for a fact. I think those people are his friends. And like Pagoda
Right.
shows up a lot
Right.
in movies. And he, let's be honest, he's not exactly a good actor, but, or at least he doesn't show it in those movies. I don't know the rest of his career. So I don't think he's getting a lead part, but, at least we have to mention it.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you like saying all of these things, all these critiques, and I also I disagree. I think especially this week, like really deep diving into them and really trying to understand them more and like doing a little bit more analysis. I think all of those critiques are incorrect. Well, not all of them, but like style over substance. I feel like his movies actually get really emotional.
I do
It's
too.
just not like in your face. I'm going to be like crying or like, and sometimes there is crying, but like it's subtle. And I feel like that's how emotion can be a lot of times, is like it's internal. You're not always putting on this like big display. And so
And he gives you the music and all the other things to get you to feel that way,
feel.
so that the actor isn't like having to do this whole grand thing.
Yes.
And you're getting what the subtle acting, big everything else around them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They are the like, an aesthetic. You're getting an aesthetic when you watch a Wes Anderson movie. But again, I don't mind that. I think it's
I also,
we're
me
in
neither.
agreement.
yeah.
I also think a big portion of the people who aren't a big fan of him are not a big fan of him anymore and are over it. Like,
I think that's
like
fair.
they liked it at first, and now they're like, okay, it's just
Scene
like
one, you've seen 'em
You
all.
did it.
Scene one, seen them all, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think watching them, as you were saying, all together, like as a project, is very, or like in the future, 100 years from now, when someone is like, "Who's Wes Anderson?" I'm gonna go watch all their movies. They're gonna be like, "Oh, nice! I have this director who lived in his own little world and is completely unlike anybody else around him. That's awesome." You know what I mean? I think, and I'm victim of this. I certainly, as big of a Wes Anderson fan as I was earlier in my life, am now every time I see a trailer like a little bummed or like disappointed, just that it's not like, oh, he didn't do something new necessarily. But that being said, I watch the movies and I'm like, oh, these are pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think his career ebbs and flows a little bit.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And I mean, we said it earlier, but I've been pretty much exclusively watching Wes Anderson movies, and I'm ready for a break. So
Right.
they're not necessarily wrong. It's just whether you like it or not. I personally like it. I think he tells heartwarming stories. I think his scripts are hilarious, and I like the world he's created personally. But if it's not for you, it's just, we mentioned Michael Mann earlier. Michael Mann movies, you can tell it's a Michael Mann movie 10 minutes in, and not everybody likes them, and that's fine. It's just, I think he's probably easy to cherry pick because they're so visually unique.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting that he gets so much criticism over something that's just like, well, the dude is just he's just doing his thing.
He's just
Like,
doing his thing.
Get off his back a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you don't like it, don't watch the movie.
right.
I will say the one critique that I do kind of agree
here
with
we
is
go.
how white his movies
yes,
are.
fair.
They're very Eurocentric. They're very not very diverse. He is bringing in some people, some recurring cast members, but they feel like token parts, or even doing Darjeeling Limited and Isle of Dogs. Darjeeling Limited just felt like, oh, we're using India as this like
Yeah, that's the big critique of Darjeeling
backdrop of like exoticism and like spirituality,
Right.
as almost like a stereotype,
Yeah.
which is just and that's also part of the movie.
for sure. Yeah, I
But-
think you're
but it's-
seeing it through the eyes of three white dudes who were visiting it and like trying to look for a spiritual place.
Right. And then Isle of Dogs takes place in Japan, and it's set. That I like a little bit less. That feels a little bit more like a slightly white savior with the foreign exchange student from Ohio, voiced by Greta Gerwig. I don't remember her name, but like it's this like white girl coming in to like fight the fascism and fight the violence against dogs, and it feels a little white saviory. And also I understand the reason why he had all of the dogs speak English and then all the other characters speak in Japanese except for the one white girl. But it also it does create that they can't understand each other. It's two different species that can't communicate with each other, but also as the viewer it kind of like makes the unable to really understand a lot of the Japanese pulls me out of it a little bit of like, I want to be also understanding these characters. And it's only when Wes allows me to understand it through a narrator or
Yeah,
that.
I thought it was
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see the point. I actually kind of like that part of the story. I just think it's an interesting way. I don't really have an opinion on what he should or shouldn't have done, and I totally hear what you're saying. I just, from a practical standpoint, sometimes I like when you can't understand the dialogue being said and you have to figure it out for yourself based on the storytelling. But when you frame it like the way you're saying, I totally understand what you're trying to
And
say.
he also flip-flopped. That's the part of it I didn't like, is that sometimes you did get it in English. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just like, so how did you make the call and
Right.
when and when not to?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that movie didn't feel like it needed to be set in Japan.
No.
Especially because I heard him talk about like his inspiration for it came from literally a place called the Isle of Dogs that was like in Britain, in
Yeah.
England. And so it's like, okay, then why did you
I did hear just him talking about that and Darjeeling. Actually, he was like, I've been watching a lot of, he had specifics. I'm going to say Indian movies. I don't know whose they were. I should have put that in my notes, but that he was just like, and then I wanted to make a movie in India. And I'm paraphrasing and probably not doing his quote justice, so I should say that. But same with Japan. He was like, well, I was traveling in Japan, and I wanted to make a movie in Japan, and I was like, oh, okay, that's. I mean, he has the right to do that.
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Before we jump through and do each section and do lists in full, I just want to list off the filmography. Feel free to stop me when you want. We're not going to do a full deep dive on the career like we did with the other 2 director episodes. We're just going to list the filmography and break down each aspect. So I have this divided up kind of intentionally. So he has 1996, he has Bottle Rocket, his film debut. True indie film, and he's working the stuff out. He doesn't really fully have the Wes Anderson budget and also aesthetic yet. Really feels a little bit separate from his other movies, which is kind of interesting. Then in 1998 gets a little more cred, at least in the film industry. People recognize the potential with him in Bottle Rocket. He does Rushmore. Bill Murray joins the Wes Anderson phylum and stars, or at least co-stars in the movie, and it
starts a new career path for him.
Yeah,
that's
really changes
that's his first Bill Murray, new Bill Murray movie.
Yeah, and that movie, it didn't make a lot of money, but it was a thing.
Oh yeah,
it was definitely a thing. And then, sort of what that was. So that's like chapter 1 of Wes Anderson. Chapter 2 starts with Royal Tenenbaums when
Banger.
He has done these 2 movies, and people are like, all right, we're going to give you the resources, we're going to give you the money and the time, and do your thing. And he's like, cool, I'm just going to release this crazy influential movie that everybody loves in 2001. That's his 3rd movie. Then he does Life Aquatic in 2004. Kind of a weird one, kind of a quirky one. I really like it. Darjeeling
Hilarious.
Limited. Yeah. In 2007. Do we want to talk about any of these movies now, or do we want to just
wait? Just fly through them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
I think our lists will talk about them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what I kind of have is Phase 3 or Chapter 3, Fantastic Mr. Fox in 2009, Moonrise Kingdom in 2012, and The Grand Budapest Hotel in 2014. And then in this latest phase, I suppose you could divide these up a little bit more. I have Isle of Dogs in 2018, French Dispatch in 2021, Asteroid City in 2023. And then in 2024, he did The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and a bunch of other shorts with Netflix. And I put that in there because that's when he won his Oscar. He's been nominated a bunch of times. This, personally, for me, won't factor in any of my lists. But I just wanted to... Okay, cool. So we're all on the same page. I just want to put it in there, at least for historic, relevance. That's when he got his Oscar, was for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar for Best Live Action Short. And then this year, the most recent movie, The Phoenician Scheme, which just came out. Any takeaways, or do we want to just blow right past that?
Well, I'd say that throwing the short, the Henry Sugar, kind of interrupts what I think is actually like a, what you could call like a trilogy, which is French Dispatch, Asteroid City, and Phoenician Scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think those 3 are very easily grouped into one. And I also think it's interesting that it feels like in each section, one movie pushes it into the next realm. It's like he did Bottle Rocket, which isn't really like a lot of the, isn't really Wes Anderson-y that much.
Right.
Then he did Rushmore, which you get like a tinge of it, but then he launches himself into Royal Tenenbaums.
Sure.
Where he's like pretty into it. And then Darjeeling Limited, it felt like a gap. Like he didn't do another live action until for 5 years. You had Fantastic Mr. Fox, so Darjeeling kind of felt like a cutoff or an end.
Yeah, bookend on that.
And then Grand Budapest was like obviously his biggest movie financially, but really he really goes full Wes Anderson. And
yeah.
Every frame, and I think that's where he kind of lost some people, probably, is that sort of style, or like continuing on that style.
Yeah.
Because then the next 3 are all very much.
Oh, yeah. He sinks into it even further. Yeah. I just want to point out one thing. I didn't know where to do this, but I'll do it now. I would like to issue a formal apology to Jack, to Mr. Wes Anderson, to everyone I've ever had a discussion about the Royal Tenenbaums, because
Yeah.
I'm on this podcast before. I've said it. I didn't really get it. I watched it twice years ago. It didn't really sink in. Hey, nobody's perfect. And
I forgive you, by the way.
Thank you. So we were flying home from Maui, and we were able to get the Criterion on our channel on our
Of course you were.
laptops. Yeah, of course. And Becky was like, "Oh, I think I'll watch Royal Tenenbaums. I've never seen it." I was like, "Well, I've been meaning to watch it, I guess." So I threw it on at the same time. So
I told Jack I'd watch it for a third time.
Yeah. So I threw it on, and this was
lo
like
and behold,
weeks before we even knew we were going to be doing this podcast. So I threw it on, and
On the
plane, and I was just like,
Not a place to watch that.
I disagree. It was just great.
Oh, okay.
I just loved it, and I was like, God, I was wrong. I was hesitant to like.
Oh, and you never told. This is a while ago.
Yeah,
that's when we were coming back from Maui.
I didn't want to admit it just yet. I knew we would have this moment.
Oh, I thought you just rewatched it like this week.
I
No.
did
Oh, wow.
twice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice. Same.
So I rewatched it again this week I was like, all right, maybe I was being a little too hasty with my love for that movie when I watched it on the plane back from Maui, and I was not. So I was wrong. I'm not going to tell anybody where it is on my list just yet, but I just so we get it out of the way, I was wrong. It is a good movie. Fine there.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so happy it can just come up in normal conversation now, because I reference it. I feel like in my mind all the time.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I was usually
we
trying
were
to get it
talking
out of
about
my
a
mind.
list or an idea for a list, and you were like, "Oh yeah, something about Margot Tenenbaum," and I was just like, "Whoa, over here with the Margot Tenenbaum reference." I don't think I've ever even heard you speak her name.
Well,
It was great.
Nobody's perfect.
It was great.
All right.
We're just glad you've seen the error of your ways.
Yeah. Hey,
Thanksgiving is going to be a lot more normal now.
no, I don't even know what you mean by that.
I just mean
Before we
Family
take
get-togethers.
a break, I'm glad I got that off my chest. We'll do another quick top five. And based on what we were talking about in our pre-recording, it sounds like neither of you did this one.
I did
Top
not.
five
It's not
Wes
even-
Anderson locales.
not on my doc. I'm sorry.
Well, it is on the doc, but
We
that's okay.
did sets or set designs later, and mine, that's kind of similar. I'm not sure.
I'm just going to blow right through this.
Cool.
Okay.
Number 5, Trash Island. I like Trash Island.
Mm-hmm.
That's from Isle of Dogs. Number 4, New Penzance in Moonrise Kingdom.
Kingdoms.
Fun one.
Love it.
Number 3, The Belafonte.
Yeah.
I just love that, the whole area, whether they're outside the ship or inside the ship.
Trying
Great.
to like a set design.
Well, I'm not talking about the whole movie, though.
I got you.
I'm talking about locales.
Oh,
Is that a locale?
Oh,
it's
I
more like
did-
the Italian Riviera.
Well, you didn't do the list. This is
I
my
did
list. You guys don't like it. You can get on your own damn list.
My set design is like specific locales.
Okay.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Number 2, I had Rushmore. I love the location of Rushmore, not just the set design.
Oh, you know what I heard or read is that that's actually maybe the school that Wes Anderson went to.
That is a
he
fact.
used his school as the backdrop.
Yeah, it wasn't called Rushmore, obviously.
Right,
but
right.
Yeah, they were
St. Andrews
They
or
were
St.
thinking
James
about
or
one in
something.
Scotland, and they were like, "Why don't we just do it here?" At the school I went to,
Texas.
He's like,
Spare no
"Great."
expense.
Right. And then the last one, I have Asteroid City. I think Asteroid City, the
Love it.
location is great.
Love it.
Can't
Awesome.
say I love the rest of the movie necessarily, but
Woo!
Can't say I agree with you.
well, I'll wait 15 years and then watch it again, and then
Yeah,
it'll be
right.
like Royal Tenenbaums. All right, why don't we take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll dive into more Wes Anderson. All right, Wes Anderson, born and raised in Texas, worked as a cinema projectionist when he was younger.
Shocker.
Yeah, right. Wanted this also a shocker. Wanted to be an architect and a writer. That comes out in his movies. Parents were divorced when he was 8. Don't really like to bring up personal stuff, but that seems to have influenced a lot of
Yes.
his storytelling. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that was important. Started making silent films with his Super 8 camera when he was a young kid, and graduated from the University of Texas at Austin, where he was roommates with Owen Wilson, and majored in philosophy.
Cool.
Sorry, I thought I bumped into something there.
No, I think my water bottle finally dropped.
Oh, that's what it was. I heard the vibrations. Yeah. So there you go. Little background. Here's some stats for you. Top 3 grossing films in order, in reverse order. Moonrise Kingdom did 68 million. Royal Tenenbaums did 71 million, and The Grand Budapest Hotel did 174 million.
Woo.
Pretty good. And it's also kind of crazy to me that that's really his. I mean, his movies have done okay in the box office, but that really is his like only big, true bona fide hit.
Yeah, I can't tell if that's crazier or if it's crazier that Grand Budapest actually made 170.
Is the one? Yeah,
I mean, just that any of them got that. I mean,
yeah, I guess for being such a well-known director, like people,
174 is pretty.
It's pretty good.
Pretty successful. I also don't remember that as being such a phenomenon. I remember seeing it in theaters, and I remember its Oscar push. But I mean, I think it came out in like March. I think it came out earlier in the year.
It did, yeah.
And then I don't remember that it was like a big box office hit.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't know. I figure a lot of his movies would close in on 100 million just because he's such a well-known director and people talk about him a lot still. But
yeah,
but
true.
there is that polarizing aspect where like Alex doesn't care for it,
right.
so she's not going to go spend her money at the box office to go see it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's definitely a big split there.
Yeah, and people that love his movies will buy the DVDs, and he's on the Criterion. Like all his movies now are on Criterion.
Yeah.
So there's that. But
because he's so distinct and unique. If you like decide that you don't like Wes Anderson, then you're going to see his trailer and you're going to be like, that's a Wes Anderson movie. I'm not going to see it. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you don't like Spielberg, you could end up at a Spielberg movie without even knowing that it's a Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
That might not be a good example, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Oh no, I got another note. Oscars.
Yeah.
He's been nominated for 8 Oscars. Finally won, as we said, for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, Best Live Action Short category. And his films, by my count, have been nominated for 12 Oscars.
So he personally has been nominated for 8.
That's what I got.
Meaning,
that's what the internet told me. Okay. But, director, probably picture, and writing for a lot of them. But then I would have thought that his other aspects like set design and costumes would be nominated more. Like I was surprised that he's been nominated for 8 and then the rest of his movies have only been nominated for 12. And if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but that's what the internet told me. So
got it. Interesting.
Yeah.
12 besides the 8.
No.
Including the 8.
That's what I got. That's why I was like,
okay.
oh,
that
that's
is surprising.
Yeah. All right. Shall we get into it? Section number 1.
Section number 1.
Anybody have anything to say before we dive in?
Let's do it.
All right.
No, I have one thing to say.
So
Rebecca.
Sorry. I just really quick want to touch on Henry Sugar.
Okay.
Just because that is the one that he won for.
Yeah. I saw it once.
I saw it once,
I've
and
never seen it.
that
Sorry.
one to me felt like the most like I'm going to deliver a monotonous dialogue really fast with no inflection or change or anything, and like the story just wasn't. I think it's also based on a Roald Dahl story.
I believe at least one of them is.
Yeah.
I think they all might be different Roald Dahl stories.
Yeah, I don't know. But that one to me felt like almost the most extreme version of Wes Anderson taking his like specific artistic direction in a certain way, and how far he pushed it didn't work for me.
That's how I feel about French Dispatch.
Interesting.
That's how I feel about Asteroid City.
Not me.
We'll get there.
I disagree about French Dispatch.
Yeah.
Fun.
I
Okay.
will get there.
That's all I
will
had to say.
When I saw French Dispatch the first time, I didn't like it as much. And then when I saw it the second time, I was like, okay, I get this. I like it a little bit more. But
I loved it the first time, and I loved it again.
I've only seen it the once.
Yeah.
Do I give my general take on it right now, or are we going to
Sure.
say this? They often say in like the cooking shows to not do something 3 ways.
Yeah.
Because if one
Right.
of them is bad, then the whole dish is going to be bad, essentially.
Right.
And I wouldn't say any of the sections are bad per se, but when you see one and you're like, oh, I'm loving this, and then it ends, and then the next one starts, and you're like, this
It's not the same
this
thing.
isn't as good.
Short stories,
Yeah.
you know.
So I think that's where it got me, and I think it was to the max Wes Anderson-y,
It was, yeah.
and but it had some great moments. I will say that it's one of the movies is good.
I what I really like about it, I mean, it's obviously, and this is spoken about a lot, it's a love letter to the New Yorker, which is, it's stories, and it's, it definitely a lot of short stories and articles. And so I think the least successful, there's actually 4.
Right.
There's 3 like longer stories, and then it starts with the like tour through ennui de blas, or whatever, which means something like boredom upon apathy or something like that.
Nice.
Like that's what it translates to.
Get the
And
big brains on bread.
that particularly the Wes Anderson like going through the town was the least successful to me. So it's like it started off like and then it got better for me. But I like that each section kind of announces this is the like politics and section, or this is the like
Right.
taste and whatever section with the different authors. And so like thinking about each story coming from a different perspective like was very apparent to me early. And like I don't know, I thought it was successful in delivering multiple stories in like a little anthology that I thought worked.
Yeah. I think for me, and I think what Jack is saying is right.
Yeah.
And that's probably why a lot of people didn't connect with it, because if you like one section more than the other and that section ends, and it's like, well, fuck that, But for me, the through line of the editor, which was played by Bill Murray, and how he interacts with each writer at the end of their story, kind of just brought it through brought it home the second time through, and I really liked it. But I mean, we're gonna rate them at the end, and spoiler alert, it's towards the bottom of my list. So
okay,
it's
but
not like
which one was your least favorite? Which section?
My favorite is the food one,
Okay.
which is, I don't know why I'm like having trouble kind of not remembering it that great.
It's like James Baldwin-esque. There's
It's
like
the
a
Jeffrey
kid
Wright one.
kidnapping. Yeah. I like that one. I also really like the Benicio del Toro story.
The art one.
The art one.
Yeah, that was the one I feel like that was the one that I was the most bummed when it ended, because it was like so captivating.
Yeah.
So it must have been the Frances McDormand one that
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
But I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
My bad. Bad job by me.
it's fine. We got to rank them somewhere.
Moving on.
Moving on. So our first section is story and themes. He often explores similar themes: fractured families, absentee fathers, finding oneself, someone on something of a spiritual journey. How do we feel in general about these themes popping up over and over again?
Well, I'll say I was kind of surprised by how, and obviously sometimes it's not honest, or it's kind of hard to tell if it's honest, but I was kind of surprised about how aware the bad dads, he always does the bad dads thing, how self-aware they were, and often are on like a quest to be better.
Yeah.
I think Steve Zissou's is like kind of fake. It's like he's obviously like using Ned for his own financial gain and to like get this story. So that one's a little murky there. But like Royal, other than being homeless, I think he is kind of just trying to see his kids for the most part. Or if,
I think that one feels more like he comes to the realization after the fact.
I would
and is
agree.
like,
and that's one of the better line drops too.
Yeah.
it
Immediately
really
when he
is.
said that, he
realized
it was
true, yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
a good line.
I think
Yeah.
he was just jealous of the fact that Danny Glover was cutting in on his woman, and he tried to get back into the game a little bit personally. But
and trying to achieve like, he knew that he was, even though he wasn't dying, he knew that he was going to someday, and didn't want to have like a lame life at the end of it, or what sounded like a lame life.
Yeah.
So he, like you're saying, he felt not, I don't know about jealous, but he tried to just get back inside to make himself feel better.
Right.
as
Selfish
opposed to-
motives.
Yes. Selfish
Yes.
motives. Yeah.
I heard Wes say that he actually is really drawn to dad figures that are like really obsessed with other things. And so it's like they're distracted and they're not really like being good parental figures because they have this passion that they like have to follow.
Right.
He's like, I don't know why. It's something about them. I'm just really drawn to people like that. And I don't know. I was like, sure, that's a take, I guess.
I also find it interesting. You see all these troubled father figures throughout his movies. According to him, he had a wonderful relationship with his father. So, to me, that's interesting. And
Well, maybe that's what you're kind of he's referencing in response to, is that it's just really more about a dude who's obsessed with something and lost track of everything around him, as opposed to like, it's going to be a dad. It's going to be a bad dad.
Right.
It's more just
Right.
like naturally this type of person
Right.
is a bad dad.
Right.
does it bother you that he seems to traverse the same stories often? I'll answer my own question. Okay. It doesn't bother me at all. I feel like a lot of directors do this, and because, like we pointed out, he's so unique, I feel like he's kind of unfairly picked on for doing similar stories. Like, I mean, he has a much larger career, but Scorsese is often telling about, toxic male guilt, and Spielberg is often talking about, at least not actively talking about, but his movies have, from a kid's perspective in a divorced family or a sense of wonder. Paul Thomas Anderson movies are often trying to form some sort of family within some sort of fractured family structure. Now, they're doing it in different ways, and Paul Thomas Anderson movies, on the flip side of Wes Anderson movies, are often very different from each other. But I just feel like he's telling the same story, and because Wes Anderson does the same, uses a lot of the same motifs and uses a lot of the same visual style, that I think he gets unfairly picked on for telling similar stories.
I think he comes at the same story from a lot of different angles.
Yeah.
Which I feel like gives a little bit more. I'll forgive it a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you can break it down to it being that, but like on the outside, it's not. You can't always see it that way necessarily.
Yeah. So it doesn't bother you.
No,
Tight.
it doesn't.
We're on the same page.
I guess I notice it. I mean, of course I notice it, but like his movies are literally all like different things. It's like,
And they're so submersive.
yeah,
Is that the right word? Immersive is the word I'm looking for.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So people who don't like Wes Anderson are screaming at their Spotify.
they've
right
already
now,
turned
but-
it off. They probably didn't even press play.
Yep.
Two episodes.
Yeah, right.
All right. First top 5 in this section. Top 5 broken dads. We've alluded to it. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Jack.
Number 5, I've got Chaz Tenenbaum.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that one.
I didn't either.
Great.
Yeah, he's going through it.
Good job, Jack.
Thank you.
Damn it.
I've had a hard year, Dad.
Oh.
It'll come up.
Number 4, I have Anatoly Zsa Korda
Yeah. From Phoenician
from
Scheme.
Phoenician Scheme. He kind of came back around. I feel like this is his first like true like bad dad in a while. And he does seem, I mean, he's got a lot going on, but he seems to actively be wanting to, smooth things over with
Yeah.
Homegirl.
Yeah.
Weasel.
I mean, he's obviously doing his whole business scheme, but it's not really like about her. And if anything, he's trying to get her as much money as possible before giving
Yeah.
her the business.
I'd like to see that movie again.
no idea what's going on in that movie. And I don't think you're really supposed to, which is interesting. I think you're really just kind of supposed to be paying attention to their relationship, because boy, howdy, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I think that kind of lends to something that I think I wanted to say this later, that I hate when people say this, but his movies do warrant rewatching. And
Yeah.
I'm sure
I don't think
what
you're
you're
gonna get it
saying
with
is
this one.
well, I
I mean,
think you're right
yeah.
in that you can enjoy it without it, but I think he's probably doing a lot more than we noticed on the first run through. That's what I'm saying.
I
Just
think
based
there's
on
a
my
lot-
experience with his other movies.
So I've seen it twice.
Oh, you bastard.
The first time I was like distracted by the fact that I didn't know what was happening. And the second time, because I'd also read something that was, or I heard somebody talking about it, and they were like, yeah, I don't really know if I had any idea what was going on here, and there. But still, it was a positive review. So then going back the second time, I didn't care about it as much and enjoyed it like way more. And, you know, could focus on certain things and not get tripped up on the story part. Because
Yeah.
I do think he is doing a lot. But I really think the like hardcore, the actual scheme and the, what is it called? All the percentages
Right.
are like pretty out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, we were watching it, and I think at one point I was like, wait, what?
Well, I don't get what the numbers are on the
And so
side
then
for each.
I let that go.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're kind of, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think another point that Becky made earlier, this one's a little bit funnier than the previous, 3 or 4,
True.
where his earlier movies were very funny and still deep and still emotional. But this one actually was, like, I was laughing out loud during
Yeah,
Finish This Game.
it's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
I'm sorry.
Okay, keep
we
with
just
your
Yeah,
list.
hijacked
my
yours.
bad. No, I went
that's
off
okay.
on that one. Yeah. So 5 Chaz, 4 Jaja, 3 Herman J. Bloom from
Yeah.
Rushmore, 2 Steve Zissou, 1 Royal Tenenbaum.
Yeah,
Nice.
good job.
Yeah.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Okay, I have a long list.
Ooh,
I
excellent.
have 7.
That's a
Yes.
Josh number for sure.
I have
I-
6, just to be clear.
I started. I like hesitated putting this one on. I put Augie Steinbeck from Asteroid City as kind of, he's playing a broken dad, but there's like the meta. It's a play.
He made my list.
He's not actually
Ooh, nice.
a dad, but he's playing one who's
I wrote
pretty
him
broken.
down as a different name. That's weird.
He has a different name. I think Augie
Well, Augie
Steinbeck
is
is
the
his
character
character
name.
in the play.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I wrote
Jason
down
Schwartzman
Stanley
playing-
Zach. Is that his other name? Maybe I
don't
wrote
know.
down the wrong character. I meant Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just going to say Jason Schwartzman when it's my turn.
My number 6 is Mr. Fox from Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Made my long list.
Yeah. Just like, doesn't understand his son and is like really,
He's definitely obsessed in his own world.
yes, for sure. And like really taking to like the cousin
Yeah.
because he's like more
He's
skilled.
an athlete.
Yeah. Number 5, I have Zsa Zsa Corda from Phoenician Scheme. Number 4, I have Mr. Bishop from Moonrise Kingdom. He's broken in like a really subtle way, but
I wish the roof would blow off and suck me out into space or whatever. whatever
yeah,
it says.
yeah, man. He's just like depressed and like,
Does it concern you that that your daughter has run away? That's a loaded question.
my number 3 is Herman Bloom from Rushmore. That guy's seen a lot.
Yeah.
Number 2
He's
is
going through it like that whole movie.
the whole movie.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Steve Zissou, and my number 1 is Tenenbaum.
Yeah.
Royal.
Yes.
Right. I don't think I need to give my list. You guys covered it. I had Royal number 1 as well.
Yeah.
And then like 17 Bill Murray options.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
the third is just all great. So good job, everybody. He does, even though he operates in a similar realm of storytelling, he does keep us on our toes. What did I just say? He does keep us on our
I
toes.
fell asleep.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm in a fugue state right now. The beats are often very similar, but the specifics are very different. We've done this list before, and we want to do top 5 what the fuck moments.
Yeah. Because they stand out in his movies.
They do. And when they happen, and I
Like, we hadn't talked about this list, and I saw that you put it on here, early on, and I was just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I already have 10.
I also think I think a lot of our lists will probably be the same. The Broken Dads list. I don't need to give mine because you guys covered it. I have a feeling like there's a lot of opportunities for creative responses in this list. Now, maybe I'm wrong and we have all the same ones.
Interesting.
But
I might have gone pretty basic.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Did you do this list, Rebecca?
I did.
Who went first last time?
I did.
Okay, Rebecca, you go first.
Okay. My number 5 is at the end of Rushmore when there's a bunch of like first grade boys sitting on a bed of like this play set, and there's like a bunch of naked lady posters.
Oh yeah.
That was
You're just
funny because
like,
we were
what?
watching that movie when the kids were getting ready to go to bed. Becky had fallen asleep like within the last 15 minutes the night before, so we're like, oh, let's throw on the last few minutes of Rushmore before we watch the next Wes Anderson that we're going to watch tonight. And so the kids are brushing their teeth, and James came out right as that scene was happening, and he
Was
he knew
essentially
enough
the little kid.
Yeah.
It was exactly like that, but he knew enough to cover his eyes.
Oh.
I was like, good job, James. But it was like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
My number 4 is the alien showing up in Asteroid City.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Love that scene so much.
Yeah. Super fun. My number 3 is Back to Rushmore. It's just actually all of Max's plays that he
Yeah.
produces.
Yeah.
It's like, this is, I think the first introduction to it is like, the kids are rehearsing and they're like, okay, next shot, we're going to do the cocaine scene.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, Alex's reaction to that whole thing was great. She was just like, they had one line, and she's like, "Wait, isn't this like, aren't they like kids?" And then I was like, "Yeah," and then it just kept on getting worse, and she was just laughing. And then when the Vietnam thing happens,
Yes.
it's just like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
I
Yes.
had the Vietnam one. I didn't do all of them. I had the Vietnam one.
My number 2 is in Moonrise Kingdom. It's when all the kids all of a sudden are wielding weapons, like
Oh, yeah.
the club with all the nails in it, and they're like about to fight, and there's literally a stabbing with scissors.
Yeah,
of these
okay,
like
that's the
children.
same scene,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
That made my long list.
And my number 1 is throwing the cat out of the window in Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, good one. Didn't
Yeah.
think of it.
Did you just throw my cat out the window?
Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Who wants to go
I didn't have any of those.
Oh, that's
Wow,
great.
great.
Yeah.
I had a couple of them, so why don't I go? But I'm
Okay.
afraid sometimes we do this and then I steal one that you were really excited about saying.
So you want me to go first?
Well, yes.
you-
You go first.
Cool. I got 7.
Cool.
That's a very Josh number.
I went full Josh on this one. Number 7, I've got Jeff Goldblum hitting the dog with the newspaper. And,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
just so unnecessary and
Down,
scary.
Cody.
It's just like, why did that happen? Just to make him be more of a villain?
I guess so.
And
What's
then
your
he ends
dog's
up
name?
being like a nice guy at the end. It's just like, what's your dog's name? That's pretty rough.
I like it. What's your dog's name? And he sits there and he thinks about it. And then he's like, Cody. Because it's not his dog. I love it. I'm sorry. I'm hijacking your list again.
Oh, we forgot Cody. Number 6, I have from that movie,
Zissou.
Jeff Goldblum getting shot. I fold. And then there's the whole shootout scene, which is great. But just like out of nowhere, he gets shot and hits
And
the
then
ground.
he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like later, like just like
Right.
walking around.
And did you notice when they're like doing a shootout and everybody's ducking for cover, he's just standing straight up holding his side?
Did not notice that.
I should have put that in my details list, but I didn't think about it.
Number 5, I've got the river scene in Darjeeling Limited.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I lost mine.
Oh, my God.
Super sad.
Yeah.
Number 4, I got the fingers getting cut off in the Phoenician scheme. Did I mean Grand Budapest Hotel?
Pretty sure you meant Grand Budapest Hotel.
Okay, does
Don't
it
remember fingers getting cut off in Phoenician
I
Scheme.
know, I kind of do though. So I guess we'll go Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
Fingers getting cut off because
I
that's pretty
definitely
what the
remember
fuck as well.
I think we showed that to the kids. We showed Grand Budapest to the
Yeah,
kids.
we watched it
and
with- but
James
Lily's
did
been wanting
not
to-
like
No,
That
the
part.
kids getting cut off in the door.
the fingers getting
Fingers.
cut off.
Yeah, what did I say?
Kids.
Oh, fingers.
All right. Number 3, I've got Ned dying in Life Aquatic.
Yeah.
Because just also like the filmmaking doesn't really do that sort of thing anymore. But he does it in the early ones where he does like smash cuts to either red or someone's face or like
Yeah.
like there's a shot of Bill Murray's face in that scene and it's like insanely clear and you can see the lights that that they are using in his eyes. They're like ring lights, and it looks completely different than all the other visuals.
Yeah.
Number 2, I got the dude getting blown up at the beginning of Phoenician's Game.
Damn it.
And number 1, I got Richie's suicide attempt.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think I've told this story in a previous podcast, but I was pretty young watching Royal Tenenbaums with our mom, and was like, this is a pretty gnarly movie. And then that scene happens. And I was like, I'm going to bed, and didn't finish it.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
it's really intense. I think that was one of the reasons why I didn't like it early on. But anyway, okay, I had a lot of the same ones. I had number 6. I had the dude getting blown up 9 seconds into the Phoenician scheme. That was great.
I was like, did that just happen?
Happened so fast, and there's just like a blood splatter with his legs sitting in the chair.
And then
I was in.
Oh, and then it's great. Like when anybody else is sitting in that seat for the rest of the movie, he like looks back at them, and they're like hella scared.
I had the kids fighting in Moonrise Kingdom, and I also had Sam get struck by lightning in Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah.
I had that as my number 5. The final play in Rushmore called Heaven and Hell with all the explosions. My number 3 is a little back and forth between Monsieur Gustave and Zero. She was dynamite in the sack, by the way. She was 84, Mr. Gustave. I've had older. When you're young, it's all fillet steak, but as the years go by, you have to move on to the cheaper cuts, which is fine by me because I like those more flavorful, or so they say. She was dynamite in the sack.
She was 84.
The car crash at the end of Tannenbaums. That was wild.
Oh, yeah.
And then the pirates and Steve Zissou coming on the ship and doing the whole thing, and the crazy shootout when he finally snaps and saves everybody.
Yep.
Great.
It'll come up again.
It will. Okay. So that kind of wraps up our story and themes section. Let's take another quick break, and then we'll move on. Okay, moving on to production design. This is a big one. We have a few lists here. To say he's meticulous is an understatement. He is in control of literally everything you see on the screen. I forget. I think it was I saw a little bit on Royal Tenenbaums where there was like a bookshelf, and he was like, I want all these bookshelves to be dark because they were painted white. And I want you to have like little labels for all the different plays, and I want them to be halfway up the section on the bookshelf, and I want them to be in alphabetical order. Bert has the list or something. I don't remember who has the list, but he just like was telling a production assistant that's just like, do it all like this and get the list from this guy, and it was just like, man, that's just like one little thing for one little scene.
My favorite one in Royal Tenenbaums is the paintings on the wall that you never even get to see.
Oh,
I think in Richie's bedroom.
Richie's room.
I think maybe his brother painted them. Somebody he knows painted them.
No, he painted them.
He painted them?
Yeah.
Who did?
Because he's
Wes
an
Anderson?
artist.
Wes Anderson
painted
them?
No.
Jack's talking about in real life.
Got it.
Yeah. On the wall, there's all these different little life stories, some of which appear in the movie. You don't see any close-ups of them, really. They're kind of in the background. And they're all these just little scenes painted on a wall.
Yeah. Crazy.
So
much detail. There's a look, there's a vibe. Every frame has purpose, and he's thought about pretty much everything. He also, we'll get to it later, I'm sure, uses stop-motion animation, both in feature films and in lots of little sections of his live-action films. Yeah. So it's a tool that he uses in his Rolodex quite often. Mm-hmm. So we got set designs. This is a big one, and we can take it however you want to go. So it sounds like you did specific aspects of set designs, Jack.
Yes.
Okay.
I just did specific sets and their designs.
Okay.
How about I just go?
Do it.
No? You go first, Josh.
I'll go first because I just chose the movies that I liked with the best set design.
Copy.
French Dispatch, really like the way it looks. Not my favorite of his movies, but I really liked it. Fantastic Mr. Fox, love the aesthetic, love the stop motion, love everything about it. Can't believe he did that. Asteroid City, mentioned it when I said I liked Asteroid City. I think the movie looks great. It doesn't totally sink in for me on the rest of the levels yet, but the movie looks great. Grand Budapest Hotel is just phenomenal, and we've talked about it, and that's kind of when... if he didn't have that moment before, that's when the Wes Anderson on steroids light bulb went on, and it looks great. And the number one, because of all the details we just mentioned, is the Royal Tenenbaums. I don't really have much to add to that. I expect you guys to have a little bit more, so I'll let you guys talk.
Go for it, Jack.
Number 5, I did Max's sets on stage.
Oh, yes.
That's one of my earliest
From Rushmore.
Sorry, that's one of my earliest memories of Wes Anderson and enjoying him. Rushmore was the first one that I saw, and I remember the plays coming up and him having the whole like these little detailed sets. I thought it was brilliant, and I was just like, "Wow, I want that." You know, that's just like it's brilliant. I don't know. All the little like helicopters flying by and things like that.
Napalm, and there's like explosions coming out.
Yeah, the train in the background of the Serpico one. It's crazy because it's really like why isn't this more of a thing? It seems so real, you know what I mean? Or it seems so attainable, but it's not like you see a bunch of like sets out there that are like that in plays, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
something
feel like
about
usually plays have to have like multiple sets.
Yeah.
And so those feel like this is like taking place only in one. The whole thing is taking place on one
True.
stage.
Or
it's
you
like
can just
plays,
imagine
just
that
do abstract things in order to like get these ideas across, not like having literal little planes go by in the
Right.
background, you know,
Live
but it
palm
looks
trees.
Like, yeah, exactly.
in my mind, that's not the only set that he creates. It's just the one that we see in the movie. And I
Yeah.
hope he has like several other
Oh,
set
yeah.
pieces that he has for each of his plays because he's a psychopath.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Number 4, I got the Belfonte.
Love it.
Love the scene, the intro scene. I think it's what you were referencing in the intro before of just getting every room and going through each one. And like, you know, you get the spa.
That's the ship in Life Aquatic.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thought you were telling me.
No, I know. You know. I'm just, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. The ship in Life Aquatic.
Yeah.
I got number 3, Asteroid City.
Yeah.
Just the moment of getting off the train in the beginning and the
Yeah.
360 shot of everything that you're going to
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like, oh, I am so in. Number 2, I have Darjeeling Limited.
Oh,
Love the trains. I love
Oh, the
trains.
trains, yeah.
I've always wanted to do a train trip.
yeah.
This gets me going with just it being a train movie. Probably, you know, well, you'll see it in my rankings later, but the train part of it, I love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love being on the train.
Yeah.
And number 1, I got Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
The Tenenbaum house specifically.
Phenomenal.
They bought the house, you know, they built the whole thing, crafted the whole thing. It was essentially just
So
a wreck.
they didn't buy the house.
They didn't buy it. Okay.
Did you hear this?
I don't know.
So the guy who owns the house at the time bought it from like a short sale, like it was foreclosed or whatever. And they found this house, really liked it, and rented it from him so that they could remodel it. And the amount they paid him was the amount he paid for the house. And then they redid everything in the house to make it look the way they wanted to, and then let him move in afterwards,
Nice.
which is kind of cool. I hope he kept it.
No, he did not.
He redid it.
Kept the set of the
Yeah.
house. I don't know, but I know that I saw an article that it was for sale like years ago.
Damn it!
Nice.
We
Yeah.
should have bought it.
Oh yeah, we should have.
I'll give you $50.
Okay. I have 6, and mine is more like I'm just talking about like which movie has the sets that I like.
That's what I did.
Okay, so my number 6 is Darjeeling. I agree. The trains, especially all the various places of worship that they go to. All of that was all like built out and detailed out by locals, which I thought was really interesting
There you
and
go.
just kind of like gave a little bit of authenticity to the set. My number 5 is Phoenician Scheme.
Good. That's a good one.
I love that his house, and like especially his house, is just, he's like this, obviously like the world's richest man or something like that, and he also just like has good taste, and so like the bathroom, for
Yeah,
instance,
right.
is just like superb,
Impeccable.
wonderful. It's a giant, like, it wouldn't be a very functional actual bathroom.
Here we go.
Rebecca is a interior designer, by the way.
Yeah. but super grand. The Venetian palazzo type house that he has. The planes are kind of mid-century-ish. The nightclub, Marseille Bob's, is supposed to be like a rip on Casablanca, but it also kind of reminds me of the movie Gilda, where it's like he's the owner of the bar and he has the window looking out over, and it's kind of Art Deco-y, and then of course like it
Big
ends.
brains on bread.
That's twice now.
Yeah, well,
I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
Bringing the heat.
I've never seen Gilda.
It's good. It's fine. It's a
fine.
classic. You should watch it.
It's a movie of the times.
It's kind of like a thriller that, like, when you've seen like thrillers from like the 80s, 90s, and aughts, it's just like it's not as good, but
Yeah.
it's a classic. You should watch it.
And then ending in the like Egyptian revival hotel, with all the like hieroglyphics everywhere and stuff like that is super cool. He does have like colors that he does for each movie.
You're gonna have to drive the ship on that one.
I figured. Love you guys.
I hear he invented millennial pink.
Yeah, with Grand Budapest. Yeah. But the Phoenician scheme colors are kind of like browns, grays, blues, greens. They're like a little bit more muted, but just very consistent throughout. My number 4 is Moonrise Kingdom. Love all of the sets. I really love just how much of like actual outdoors they use.
Yeah.
There's one shot where Bruce Willis's cop car is like driving under like a tree tunnel and like over, and you'd think it'd be like a road, but it's just grassy underneath his car, and it's just a beautiful shot. But very New England, Rhode Island vibes. The home is like a quirky mix of a bunch of stuff with like a old lighthouse like smashed onto it. The church where they play Noah's Flood, but it's like Noise Fluda, something like that is like the title of the play. The like set of that play in the church is like also really intricate, and it's all like kind of like wood planks that are just like moving, but it's all really detailed out.
The houseboat.
Houseboat.
Yeah, Bruce Willis's house.
Oh, it's
it's a trailer.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Tripping.
Yeah. And then like the camps, the tree house,
Yeah.
the like giant, the tree house up at the very, very
80
top
feet
of
in the top
yeah,
of the tree.
like, that's not safe. My number 3 movie for set design is Life Aquatic. We talked about the Belafonte. It's in the Italian Riviera, Italy. Those colors are blue, yellow, red. My number 2 is the Tenenbaum House. An actual house.
Yes.
Built in 1899. It was like it's in Harlem. It's in Hamilton Heights. And yeah, it was for sale not that long ago. But I love how each room is tailored to each kid.
Yeah.
Just like and that movie is red. There's so much red in that movie, and I'll get to it later in another list.
We should say, in case it wasn't obvious, Jack and I are colorblind, and so when Becky's
I'm bringing
talking
the
about,
colors.
yeah,
I can see colors
they're just wrong.
sometimes.
But yeah, you have Margot's room with the zebra wallpaper, the Scalamandro zebra wallpaper, and like her bookcases of plays, and then Richie's room has like a drum set because he's like almost accomplished at like so many things of art. He does all the like portraits of Margot and like you were saying, all the details of those scenes in his room.
He never fully developed as a painter.
Yeah. But tennis. And then Chaz's room is like, he's got his office set up. He's got his like ties on the rotating thing. They're all the same tie. A little punching bag because he's always got to do like the workout. So that was great. And then my number 1 is actually, you guys didn't put it on, Grand Budapest.
Yeah, I know that I didn't put mine on.
I thought about it.
I thought you did.
Did I not? Oh no, I put it at number 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I
I'm
did.
tripping. Yeah, it was an old department store that they found. They found this old department store to make the hotel in Germany, and they like built a set within the set for like the smaller set was the 1960s Grand Budapest, and then they like took that part out and had the bigger lobby for the 1930s Grand Budapest. They like do the Roman baths, which is like
Yeah,
a
the Roman baths are
cool,
cool.
cool set. The lobby, of course, the funicular that like goes up to the
Yeah.
hotel. Madame D's house is all like taxidermy animals everywhere.
Yeah.
And then with that one, it's interesting too. The colors change based on where you are. Yeah, based on when you are. So the pinks and purples and reds in the 30s, but then the other, like when you're in the 60s, it's very brown and orange. Yeah.
I also feel like the six, and this is obviously on purpose, but the 60s set looks pretty different. Like, I don't know. When I'm watching it, I'm not like, oh, they're in the Grand Budapest right now.
Well, they make the lobby, they like take the ceiling down.
Right.
So they like literally put a smaller set within
Yeah.
that grand lobby, and so
Yeah.
you really feel like it feels
more
very different.
claustrophobic and
Yeah,
not quite as grand.
Feels like a different hotel.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
but like
guess
the
that's
shot where it's like all the circle dining tables,
Yeah.
all like in that big room and like the big stage.
Love that scene.
You kind of have that overview shot of like they're gonna have dinner together.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Those are my
Good list,
set
Rebecca.
designs.
Very good.
Should we move on to costumes?
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I thought about this for like 17 seconds.
Well, I did something. And I didn't just do like top five best costumes. I did top 5 most iconic. You could see the costume without anybody in it. You're gonna know who it is.
Go.
Nice.
I have 6.
Oh,
Number 5 is Francis. Or sorry, number 6. Number 6 is Francis Whitman, who is
Yes.
Owen Wilson in Darjeeling.
Oh, 'cause he's got the-
specifically with the
yeah.
thing on.
I have that on my list too.
With the bandage.
With the big bandage over his face.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Number 5, I have Richie Tenenbaum. Number 4, I have Zero as the lobby boy with
Yep.
the lobby boy hat. Number 3, I have the Moonrise Kingdom kids with their little hair.
Yep.
Or with their little, coonskin hats. Number 2, I have Chaz Tenenbaum with the sweatsuit. And number 1, I have the Life Aquatic, just costumes.
Wow. I'm surprised you didn't have Margot on there.
Well, I got her on other lists.
Okay.
And I honestly, I don't think that would be one that you could like show someone a picture of with just the costume and they would for sure be like, that's Margot Tenenbaum. And she wears a lot of different ones.
That's true. To me, it's like the fur coat,
The fur coat.
and like the black eyeliner
Yeah.
Man, that's not a costume.
and the blunt.
That's makeup.
Fair.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay. All right.
I take it
Okay.
to me. The costume is the full. The full. Okay.
But to my point, you can't have the, if you
Yeah,
were
good
just
point.
to have the costume, you can't have the eyeliner there.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give my list because my list's a little different.
Yeah. Do it. Yeah.
My bad.
My
Roll up
number
the sleeves.
no. My number 5. I have the Whitman brothers. So you talked about Francis, but also I think Jack is pretty.
Yeah.
To me, the Jack is the Jason Schwartzman. He's the youngest, and he's kind of got like a Beatles, like a later Beatles vibe, and he's like always barefoot, which
interesting.
is kind of
Which is Beatlesy,
yeah, exactly.
At least Paul.
at least Paul.
Yeah. My number 4 is Madame D from Grand
Yes.
Budapest.
Oh.
Completely unrecognizable, but that has a lot to do
Yeah.
with makeup.
No,
But it's part of the
It's part
costume.
of the costume. I liked your point.
I'm scared.
My number 3 is the Grand Budapest, just all the concierge staff.
Yeah.
The Zeros, lobby boy, Mr. Gustav has like little stitched crossed keys on his lapels. My number 2 are the Tenenbaum siblings. Very
Yes.
iconic. And number 1, close to my heart, Josh and I dressed up one year for Halloween as Team Zissou.
Oh,
And nobody knew who we were.
What?
I
Yeah.
know.
It was embarrassing.
that's weird.
It wasn't embarrassing. It was disappointing.
It was
and
embarrassing
everyone
for
around
other
us.
people.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, what do you mean you don't know who I am? I'm nailing this right now.
My number 1 most iconic.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mine too. Yes.
And she went to trick or treat with the kids with all their friends' parents. Nobody knew. And I went to Zazie and worked, and only one person knew who I was.
That's really weird.
And I
Isn't
talked
that
to like,
crazy?
75 people that night. And I even had like Campari with me.
Yeah, you did. I
got
made
in
those
trouble for that.
costumes. They were
Yeah,
great.
they were great. All right, I'm going to blow right through mine. Number 5, I had The Lobby Boy.
Yep.
Number 4, I had Margot's Fur Coat.
Yep.
Number 3, I had Team Zissou. Nailed it. Number 2, I had Sam Shakusky's Scout outfit, hat included. And number 1, I had the tracksuit. That tracksuit's just so funny. And I really love at the end how he has a black tracksuit.
The black one. Yeah.
At the funeral.
At the funeral, so good.
Good one. All right, moving on to camera work. He is very distinct in his camera movements. Early on, he, Bottle Rocket excluded, but even early on, he did a little handheld here and there. I mean, now these days, everything's on a dolly. Everything's a tracking shot. Nice. A lot of 90-degree angles. Like, you're not looking at any character unless they're looking into the camera or it's their profile often. I mean, there are some exceptions.
Nowadays.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
There is a lot of not that stuff from Zissou and earlier. Like, Zissou has a lot of handheld, not symmetrical shots in it, which I was kind of surprised about. There's a lot of handheld stuff in the earlier ones.
Yeah, but he moves away from that pretty quickly. And I was tracking some of that stuff. Like, you're right. But there is a lot of it also,
Right, but later on, it's like there's no handheld, and it's all of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I saw something interesting where Jude Law, who plays the younger version of the writer in Grand Budapest Hotel, and I think that was his first and maybe only appearance in a Wes Anderson film. He has a scene where he's talking with the concierge played by Jason Schwartzman, and he's leaning up against the counter, and he leaned up against to talk to him, like facing him, and Wes Anderson's like, no, face out. Talk to him leaning your head to the side. Don't look at him. Just lean your head. He's like, oh, this is weird. And Jason Schwartzman was like, yeah, that's how
You'll get used to it.
Yeah, we'll get used to it. Just do what he says.
That's awesome.
And it felt very not realistic. But you don't think about that when you're watching the movie. It looks great when you're watching the movie. So anyway.
Yeah.
So I have top 5 shots and camera work. This is a wide open field. You can do whatever you want. And I think I will start.
Cool.
Do it.
So number 5, this is just a shot, but the shot of Agatha in the Grand Budapest with the lights behind her while she's on the...
I have that on my list too.
Yeah. Well, it's
do.
kind of chalk, but I went with that. I did the mushroom cloud in Asteroid City because I think it's funny and...
Real funny.
Well, I think it's funny because it's the context of that's what he chooses to make the mushroom cloud look like. And also we got Oppenheimer the same year, which is, it's just funny to see
two very different
different,
depictions.
the Nolan depiction and the Wes Anderson depiction of a mushroom cloud. Number 3, I had Steve Zissou at the end of the dock as Angelica Houston's character flies away on her plane, and he's out at the end of the dock.
All the lights are moving?
All the lights are moving, and it's very dark, and he's just out there by himself with the abyss in front of him. And I was just I
love that shot.
Nice.
nailing that on the head there.
Yeah.
But it was very good. And then number 2, I had the tray in French Dispatch that gets taken up to the editor with all of his different drinks on it. And it's on a Lazy Susan, and they move it around with each time so that each thing that they're placing is in front of the camera, and then they'll move it back 2 different ways. Here are the contents of the tray in no particular order. We have a coffee with cream and sugar on the side. We have wine, some sort of aperitif, and maybe another cocktail because there's 2 glasses and they're different colors. An oyster shooter, gross. A small sundae or maybe perhaps an affogato, can't really tell, cigarettes and some matches, a cola, and a tablet with some sort of Alka-Seltzer in the fizzy water. And those all get placed on the tray at different times as it's moving back and forth on the Lazy Susan, and then someone takes it up to him. And then, this is not part of the shot, but he shoots the oyster shooter. No, he does the ice cream and then shoots the oyster shooter immediately after that, like a psycho.
Bill Murray, the editor,
Bill Murray,
does.
sorry.
Okay, the other small detail from that one, too, is the guy who, made all the drinks and set the tray up. Before he walks into the room, he downs the drink with the Alka-Seltzer.
Oh,
Nice.
that's good. And then my number 1 shot is in Moonrise Kingdom. They're in the house, and it's, tracking along, and then it goes up a ladder into an attic, back down, out through the kitchen, where you see the boys, and then you see Bill Murray put a wine glass of wine on the table. Then he folds the table over to make to close it to make the dining room table. So basically that middle thing was open just so that the camera could get through there. And then it backs out into another room where you see Frances McDormand smoking, and then backs out into a third room where you see the girl, I forget her name, and she's already looking through her, iconic magic binoculars. And it's just like, he didn't have to do this. And it's just...
And he doesn't do too many long takes that often.
Yeah.
Like tracking shots like that go
all
no
over
really
the place.
meander.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really good, well thought out, well orchestrated. I wonder how many takes that took, Pretty good stuff.
Nice. Becky?
Yeah.
Good list, Josh.
Very
you.
good list. I just did shots because he really knows how to set up a shot to really feel like a painting.
Yeah. I tried to mix a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So
My number 5 is the shot of Zsa Zsa Korda in the tub, the opening.
Yeah.
In the opening with like the bathroom with the nurses in their like white uniforms. My number 4 is the section cut of the Belafonte in Life Aquatic.
Yep. Do we know how they did that? Is that just like one big soundstage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It was like longer than a city block and like 40 feet tall.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I think Wes talked about that when he was, I think, doing Rushmore, he came across like a New Yorker article that had like a diagram of a boat like that. And he was like, I want to do that.
yeah.
And that was like the inspiration for
Sick.
years later.
Yeah. Right.
Zissou.
It came up on another list for me.
Yeah. My number 3 is in Fantastic Mr. Fox. There's a point where they're like underground.
Yep.
And Mr. Fox is like standing on just like a platform with like waterfall behind him, and he's like almost in silhouette.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like a really
Made my list.
cool shot.
It's a really cool
Yeah.
looking shot. Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that. That's a good one.
Pretty epic.
I think he's talking to his wife, maybe?
Yeah, but before she gets there, it's just
Right,
him.
it's just him, and
Yeah.
then she joins.
Good one.
My number 2, the close-up of Agatha in Grand Budapest. You
Yeah.
put that on your
I
list.
can't believe I didn't get that on.
Come on,
this list.
Jack.
I know. It's a bad job.
And then my number 1 is also in Grand Budapest. It's an early elevator shot where they're in the red elevator and there's like the elevator operator who's standing in like a really weird angle.
that guy.
And he's just like
Dipping
kind of
his
quirky
side
to the
here.
side, and then Zero's in the back, and then Monsieur Gustave is sitting with Madame D, and they're like talking, and it's just like such a cool
He's trying
snapshot.
to recite the poem to calm her down. And
Yeah,
she's like,
she's
no,
like
no,
leaving-
no more poems.
Yeah, so that's my number 1.
Pretty good.
That made my long list.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, Jack, you're up.
Well, the Agatha shot, I can't believe I didn't think of that, but that would be somewhere on this list.
Yeah.
So
It's the
shout
long
out there.
list.
Yeah.
We forgive you.
Number 5, I had the Fantastic Mr. Fox bridge scene.
Nice.
Okay, I didn't get it. So a number of my actual favorite shots are coming up later.
Okay.
And
Understood.
So I saved them for different
Love
things.
it.
We accept.
So I kind of got a little random. Number 4, I've got I Know You Asshole. But
Yeah.
but just like that, you see him and I Know You Asshole, and then you see down to I guess it's before it happens. He jumps down.
Yeah.
You see what's his name?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson's character jump down.
Eli Cash.
And he's like, I know you, asshole. And then it goes back to him and he just like
He,
throws his hand up in the air and like motions towards him. I don't even
it's
know what
really
he does. And then he
weird.
wa-
He
I know.
doesn't-
It's
it's
just
not a point. He's like opening.
he's definitely
his
just on drugs
Yeah.
at the time. So
That's from Tenenbaums.
that's Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3, also Royal Tenenbaums. And this is, I just had to pick some shots, but I've always liked this. It's when he's in the park, or no, I think it's when they're in the cemetery, and Richie is walking with Margot, and there's like a trail that loops around and goes down. There's different levels of it, and you're like watching them. I think it's all one shot, and then some random dude in the park goes, "Hey, Bomber!" And then he looks over at him, and he goes, "Hey!" And he gives him a little like fist, and just the dance of like where the shot is and where the guy is
Yeah.
and the movement of the camera is just, I don't know, it's just interesting. And number 2, I've got Gustav hanging off the cliff and with Willem Dafoe standing above him. You got him.
comes up on a later list
Yeah.
for me.
One of my favorite moments in all of Wes Anderson movies. I think it's the only place that this shows up for it. And number one, I honestly, maybe you can help me. I just like had Darjeeling Limited in general. I think that's maybe his best shot movie. There's just so many. I do like it because it's a lot of it is outside and it's not in little studios. And I'm sure the train is partially in a studio, but it's definitely just a train for the most part. But he's still doing his thing of squaring up every shot perfectly without being confined by, the spaces other than the train.
But it feels more natural that way.
It just feels natural, and it feels like he's really just cooking. He does a lot of slow-mo in it, like throughout the whole thing, which we haven't, I don't even know if we brought up slow motion yet, but early on, it was a thing. Every one of his movies would end with a slow motion shot, which I always loved, and then stopped happening. And
I figured that would come up a little bit in the next list.
Yeah. Which is kind of what I was referencing as far as shots coming up later.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But Darjeeling Limited in general, I just thought was great.
Yeah, it's a wonderfully shot movie.
Yeah. There's multiple scenes of them chasing trains.
Yeah.
Like there's the scene where they ditch all of their stuff, which
all
is
the
obviously
metaphoric, symbolic, whatever.
Exactly. Good stuff.
Really good stuff. All right. We're moving on to a next part of the production, and that is something he's really known for, especially in the earlier ones, and that is music. He is just a master at picking the right song from pop rock history to fit the mood of what he's trying to do. Later on, he kind of jumps into doing scores more, and his scores are very unique too.
Yeah.
I don't always, it's not like a score that I would sit down and listen to like we talk about John Williams all the time. It's not like I could just listen to a lot of movie scores made by John Williams just in the car while I'm driving and enjoy it.
In fact,
I wouldn't
you do.
say those are, which I definitely do that. I wouldn't say these scores are those, but they feel very Wes Anderson. And in the first part of his career, he's doing needle
like
drops,
music videos,
and
needle drops, and slow
All over
motion.
the
Not always
place.
slow motion, but sometimes slow motion.
So we gotta do a list on music.
I love it.
I have a few, but I had a really hard time picking them, and so a couple of mine have multiple options on them. So I don't know who wants to go first, but I think this is gonna be we're gonna talk about a lot.
Okay, I don't really have a list for this.
Great. We'll save some time.
I have two things to say.
Say them.
So should I say them now?
Do it.
Okay.
Nope.
One. How about you guys go, and then I will just add at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Jack, take it away.
What? You didn't do it?
Oh no, I got it.
Oh, okay.
So number 5, my only score, Asteroid City. And I've literally been listening to it in the car all week. So it's pretty funny that you said that. I was like, I wonder if there's actually a soundtrack on Spotify for this. And of course there is.
There is, yeah.
And it's really only the main theme, but it shows up 3 times. I can only remember 2 of them though, but it's the intro, the first thing you hear, the first song, and then it shows up when the alien shows up, and it's just great. Just nice little score. Just gets me super juiced. I love it.
Awesome.
Number 4, I got David Bowie, Throughout Aquatic.
Made my list.
There, you could go actual David Bowie and do, Ziggy Stardust when he's walking across the boat when he smokes the joint.
Life on Mars.
Life on
is the
Mars
song.
and Life on Mars.
Yeah,
is
that's
the
a
song.
good needle drop.
Yeah, super good.
I like at the
Or
end
when
too, he uses,
when the dude is just playing it, all
Yeah.
the covers of it throughout. Which
Yeah.
is
and I think he's doing it in
Portuguese.
French. Oh, Portuguese.
Portuguese because he's
Portuguese.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's
So I saw something cool about this. Is that what you were about to say? About
you go
how?
ahead.
Okay, so he wanted to cast this guy. This is how psychotic Wes Anderson is. He saw City of God, and that actor is in City of God.
he's Knockout Ned.
Knockout Ned. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to he's like, let's see if we can get that guy to play this character. And they got him. He came in and he was like, okay, we have to figure out a way to teach him guitar because this guy plays guitar. And the guy's like, actually, I'm a musical artist and I just did one movie, which is City of God.
I'm like a Brazilian pop star.
He's like, yeah. He knew he's like, oh, can you play these songs? He's like, yeah, I can play these songs. And he just plays all the songs.
and he
they were
sings
like,
really well already.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he's a musical artist by trade.
I knew that he was a musical artist. I didn't know that that nobody knew that when they tried to get him just from being in City of God.
He's just one part in City of God, and he's like, let's get that guy to be this guy. And
That's
they're
hilarious.
like, okay. So there you go. It all works out for Wes Anderson because he turns out that guy's fluent in guitar and singing.
Pretty good.
Also, he said something about the fact that he figured he was just doing translations of the songs. It turns out he was just singing his own lyrics to the songs that were David
no
Bowie
way.
songs.
They're not direct. He
They're-
did his own translations, and so it's not like direct translations.
He was like,
of the
okay, but
lyrics.
you have to hit like Rebel, because people were, he's like, oh, got it.
Yeah.
certain parts you have to hit. And he's like, other than that, kind of do whatever you want.
Nice. Super good. Number three. Number three, I have the Strangers drop in Darjeeling Limited during the kid's funeral scene. So, my friend Sean's dad used to drive us to school every day in high school.
Yeah.
And he had like a Rolodex of maybe 5 cassettes that we would possibly be able to hear. That for 2 years, I would hear one of 5 tapes in the car. On the way.
Right.
All bangers. One of which was The Kinks.
Yeah.
And I loved this song. And then it showed up in a Wes Anderson trailer. And I was like,
Sign me up.
or maybe one of the other songs on the album did. And I was like, oh,
There's a lot of
I've
Kinks on
always
that-
wanted
on
to
that.
put Strangers. Yeah, there's multiple songs from the same album. And it was just crazy because I already loved Wes Anderson and had a lot of listening to this random CD or cassette. So it was kind of meant to be. And I remember being kind of like bummed, being, like, oh, now I can't put it in a movie.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a really good drop. Super epic. It's one of the slow-mos, but it's not necessarily at the end of the movie. It's kind of like in the middle of the movie. Number 2 is Ooh La La.
Yeah.
5 Faces at the end scene of Rushmore,
Yes.
which is so good. And I had a hard time deciding between these two, especially after rewatching it. And I was like, oh my God, this just used to be literally my favorite scene ever in a movie. Just the end dance scene and whatever.
It's
and then
really
they all
poignant
dance
finish.
and it works.
And it's like an actual needle drop because he's like, hey,
True.
DJ,
Yeah.
put this on.
Yeah.
And he just gives him a little look. And I
Yeah.
love that the little look is like this song. It's like this so random, but it works so well. And then number 1 I have These Days, Margot bus scene. Just incredible. Iconic.
Yes.
Always hits. I literally will watch this movie and get to that scene, rewind it. Let's do that one more time just because I love it.
It's interesting that he has such well-designed scripts of dialogue, but then like a scene like that, they don't need any dialogue. You just hit the song and you know exactly what the characters are supposed to be feeling.
Right.
It's really good.
And
another slow-mo.
And another slow-mo, and one of the slow-mos that starts off as not a slow-mo, which I love. And it aren't all of his slow-mo shots, but some of them are this, where you're getting a regular motion and then it slows down into the slow-mo.
They do that in the end of Zissou as well.
They do it at the
when
end
he's playing Bowie.
Yeah, and they do it at the end of Rushmore.
Yeah.
Like that starts off.
Right,
They're all
right.
moving.
They're all
normal speed,
dancing, and then he
then it
slows
goes
it
down.
down. Very cool. All right, here's my list.
Okay.
I also only had one score on here, and it was also my number 5. However, it's Grand Budapest Hotel with the yodeling.
Yeah.
Love
pretty
that. I did Play with Fire by the Stones from Darjeeling, where they meet Angelica Houston, and they have that moment where she wants to try to like communicate with them non-verbally to try to sort of reconnect, and she's just looking at all of them, and that song's playing, and I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I did Heroes and Villain by the Beach Boys at the beginning of Mr. Fox with their first heist with Mrs. Fox, and they eventually get caught, and that's when they have their poignant thing, but they're playing that song by the Beach Boys. Number 3, I had Rushmore, and I have 3 from Rushmore because I couldn't choose. I think Ooh La La's the one. You hit that. I also like a quick one while he's away, which is The Who, while they're doing the revenge montage. You are forgiven. It's really good. And then I did Making Time. We already talked about it in the opening montage when he's all going through his different clubs. I just think it's great. I did the same thing with Tenenbaums, and you hit my number 1 with it with Tenenbaums. My number 2 Everyone by Van Morrison at the end at the funeral. Fantastic
That's
needle
another
drop.
slow-mo.
Yep.
Slow-mo.
Me and Julio down by the schoolyard where
So
they're
good.
mixing
I
it
thought
up
about
with Royal with the grandkids, and then the Nikos these days that's the one. So, excuse me. And then my number one, same as you. I don't remember what number it was, but the Bowie on Zissou. I take your pick. I don't care. The whole use of Bowie is fantastic.
Yeah.
Put that at number one.
Yeah.
Really thought about doing Tenenbaums at number one, but had to stay true to my gut.
Yeah.
Rebecca, how would you like to add to the music conversation?
Yeah, I want to. Well, one thing that I do think that he really uses like actual songs really well. His scores are always super plucky. They're very like some of them sound very much the same. They're all just kind of like ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Or they're very like I don't know. I'm not a very musically informed person, but like I'm get like staccato, like they're very just like bam 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 kind of scores. So there's like definitely a through line of his movies that you're gonna get something kind of plucky like that.
The plucky one in Royal Tenenbaums is a song.
Okay.
Isn't like the score. It's like by the Jonas Quartet or something.
Nice.
Yeah, but still he like uses it like a
Yes.
score throughout it, and
Yes.
it's plucky.
Yes.
It's very plucky.
Yeah. And then this is a use of music. I love that he like pre-selects the songs and actually often plays the songs while they're filming so that the characters
Yeah, that's
really
cool.
It is pretty cool.
know the vibe of like what's going
Yeah.
on.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not done often. I don't
Not
think,
done
by
often.
people.
Yeah.
Good job, Rebecca.
Oh, thanks.
We like that addition.
Thanks.
All right. This is clearly going to be a two-part podcast. We've almost been talking for 2 hours. And so I have a big list right here. We're going to end this part of the episode now after this list, which is top 5 director flexes. And we've done this in the past. I feel like this is a good list to end on for part 1, and then we'll do part 2 and release it next week. Do you guys have your lists?
Yes.
I didn't do one for this.
Okay. Well, then...
I got thoughts and whatever.
Yeah, jump in when you want.
Yeah.
Rebecca, do you want to take us away?
Sure. My number 5 is that he's pumping out a movie every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
He's very consistent, which is pretty impressive. My number 4 is that he has his recurring cast members. Feels like a theater troupe almost that are just following him throughout his career. Number 3 is that he's created his own completely recognizable aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's inspired trends, and like there are books written about his look, which is like pretty impressive. We talked about it a little bit earlier that he's so recognizable, but like the fact that there's like literally you can go on TikTok and it's like have your TikTok video look like a Wes Anderson thing is pretty iconic, I think.
Yeah.
My number 2 is that he's a true auteur. He's writing, he's directing. He has such clear vision for what he wants his stories to be.
And everything seems so planned out before anybody
Meticulous.
steps on set.
Yeah, exactly. And he just has full control. And my number 1, I think he casts and directs children brilliantly.
Oh, that's a good one.
He really, there's something, and I've seen like him, like when they were filming Asteroid City, there's like the 3 sisters that are like,
I love them.
they're so fun.
So
They're
funny.
psycho.
I paused it and
love
went and
them.
got Alex in the first one in the diner when they're all talking at the same time. I was like,
Yes.
you just have to watch this 5 seconds.
Yes. But he filmed them all separately. He was like, we couldn't have gotten them together because they were literally crazy. Like their energies with each other and like, they're young kids.
Yeah.
But he filmed them each separately and was able to stitch those scenes together.
Oh, no way.
Well, in the diner scene, they're all on the same screen at the same time.
But he filmed them each separately
Wow.
and stitched that shot
Whoa.
together.
Wow.
And so he's able to kind of one-on-one with the kid get what he needs from them individually.
Whoa.
And then his editors are able to put those shots together.
Well, maybe that's why they're talking over each other so much.
Yeah.
Which
Because-
works.
Which works. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good
Super
one,
crazy.
Rebecca.
Thanks. All right. What's yours?
All right. So I guess I have 6. In French Dispatch, I have a feeling this started from not having enough money to do this scene, but in one of the little stories, there's a chase scene and they switch from normal live action to traditional animation, and it's just like, I can't believe that you decided to do it this way, but it's kind of awesome. Big time flex, in my opinion. I have the Margot backstory Private Eye montage where she's kissing everybody and the Ramones are playing, and it all leads up to she smokes. At the end. It's so funny. That's a big flex. I have the Belafonte tour. I put that here where, it's
That is
cut
a
in
flex.
half. Of course, it's a great set design. You guys are all right. But the fact that he decided to do that way and walk everything up through and take everybody through each compartment is just great.
And not just one time. Like, he uses that throughout.
Yeah. They go back to it.
Yeah.
For in big parts of the movie too.
Yeah.
So I have paying his actors at scale as my number 3, which apparently started in Rushmore because he got Bill Murray and he was just like, just pay me what you're paying everybody else, and then that became the thing. The actors do not make a lot of money for Wes Anderson movies, but they all keep doing it because they want to work with him. I saw something where Edward Norton said he eventually made $4,200 for Moonrise Kingdom, and he's in that movie a lot. And it's just wild that, Edward Norton, big-time movie star. I mean, he's not making $20 million a picture, but $4,200, that's crazy for work on it for that long and not make that much money.
Yeah.
It's also why he says he does Japan commercials, because he wants to make money so that he can then go do movies like Wes Anderson movies. So he pays all his actors the same amount, and they basically get the minimum union rate, from what I can tell, from actors being paid.
That's crazy.
My number 2 is that he cast James Caan as a side character in his first movie, got Bill Murray as a lead in his second movie, and got Gene Hackman, who did not want to be in his third movie, for his third movie. That's crazy. And then my number 1 director flex is that he has a great career. He's wonderful. He's kind of on top of Mount Wes Anderson, and then decides to do full-length stop-motion animation movies. It's just crazy to me, but it works. So he's one of a kind.
Yeah. That's a good list.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would say mixing the stop motion in with the live action would definitely be on my list. Like the animals in Steve Zissou I think the first time I saw it, I was like, this is kind of lame.
Oh,
and
really?
then, but that was a very fleeting feeling, because now I'm like, they're so beautiful. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It looks so realistic or something in a weird way. I don't know. It doesn't look realistic, but it looks like there's a little floating stop animation, thing right there, because it's stop animation.
It's
Stop
just a
motion.
very unique way to do it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And the influential one that you had, I think it was number 3 of him being he's
a trendsetter and
I would
iconic.
almost say that he had more of an influence on culture than he did on movies. Maybe because you can't do a Wes Anderson movie, or else it's going to seem so Wes Anderson. I think there's little more invisible influence he has, maybe on doing specific shots certain ways sometimes, or dialogue or things like that. But as far as things just look like his movies now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stylistically, or especially after the first few, he really had an influence on typesetting and interior design, and I think out in the real world and not in movies, you see much more Wes Anderson.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a fashion line or something. I mean, maybe he does. I don't know, but I'm surprised he doesn't kind of get out in the world and put his brand on more things. Especially because it doesn't seem like his movies make all that much money. But anyway.
Yeah, but he's constantly making movies.
Yeah, it just seems like that's what he wants to do. Good for him.
And he probably has his fingers in little things. He probably has some French design thing that nobody's ever heard of,
Perfume.
Yeah, exactly.
It's coming up.
It's coming up. Yeah, right. Well, right on. Thanks for joining us. And thanks for joining me, you two. This was fun.
Of course.
Yeah.
And we're gonna record part 2 in about 5 minutes, and we'll release it next week. So Wes Anderson,
We'll be back with
one
it.
for the ages.
Oh, yeah.
This is 11. Awesome. We'll see you later, everybody.